The procession of undergraduates is led by the student's marshal, Dr. Marie Desjardins, the 2014 Presidential Teaching Professor and Professor of Computer Science and Electrical Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the faculty and staff and the platform party enter the arena. The faculty and staff procession is led by the faculty marshal, Dr. Timothy Finan, the 2012 to 2015 Presidential Research Professor and Professor of Computer Science and Electrical Engineering. He is joined by staff marshals, Mr. Kevin Joseph, the 2014 recipient of the Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for Professional Staff, and Director of Data Warehousing and Document Imaging in Information Technology, and Ms. Susan Velli, the 2014 recipient of the Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for Non-Exempt Staff and Business Services Specialist for the Department of Music. The platform party is led by the Grand Marshal, Dr. Sarah Shin, President of the Faculty Senate and Professor of Education and co-director of the MA TESOL program. The Grand Marshal carries the University Mace, a symbol of presidential authority. Used only on formal academic occasions, it is carried in the procession immediately before the President. UMBC's Mace was commissioned by the Alumni Association for UMBC's 20th anniversary in 1986.
The 63rd commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County will now be in order. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, please, you're already right. Okay, please rise for our anthem, sung by Mr. Jacob Perry, who will graduate today with a bachelor's degree in music. Mr. Perry has performed in oratorio and will use the next year to continue his voice training before pursuing a master's of music. Gentlemen, please remove your hats or caps during the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very nice.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce the president of UMBC, Dr. Freeman Hrabowski. Having served as UMBC's president for more than 20 years, Dr. Hrabowski has brought tremendous energy, vision, and leadership to this institution. He has helped connect the university with individuals, companies, foundations, and agencies that have brought new resources to build and sustain distinctive programs in undergraduate and graduate education and research. Dr. Hrabowski?
Dr. Shen, thank you. Dr. Shen. Good morning. Good morning again. How many of you are morning people? Notice the students, not many are raising their hands yet. You're getting ready to be morning people, folks. I am delighted to see the families and friends of our new graduates and others here to celebrate the achievements of this class. Would you give them a round of applause? Let's start. First, let me recognize Jacob Perry, who just sang that wonderful song with such a gifted voice. Give him a round of applause, please. He's graduating today. Before continuing, I'm going to ask all of the people on the platform to stand who are included in the members of the President's Council, the presidents of the campus senates, the presidential award recipients. Would you please stand? Would you give them a round of applause? Students, the older I get, the more I realize there's nothing in our lives more important than our families, our friends, our relationships. I want you to applaud your family members who are here today. Families, all of you, stand up. Let us applaud you. Stand up, families. Stand up. All of you, stand up. And then, students, I want you to let the professors and staff members here know you care about them. Would all the faculty and staff please rise? Today, in many ways, is a magical day. When I came through, I said to you, jokingly, somebody said, why did you make them laugh? What did you say? I said to some of you, you're really in the middle of a dream. The fact is, you're still all freshmen. You're going to wake up in a minute getting ready for your finals. And I say that simply to get you to take a moment and think about how you felt when you were a freshman beginning the journey and you were about to take finals and you're wondering, will I be okay? Well, today represents a dream fulfilled for you, for your families, for your parents, grandparents, spouses, and others. When you were born, your parents and grandparents said they wanted the best for you. They wanted you to get an education. And so for them and for you, it is a magical moment. And so I encourage you to take this moment and savor it, because life will have many challenging moments. But you take the moments like this and you can be inspired by the possibilities. I encourage you to reflect on the hard work, on your determination, on the dreams you've set for yourself and the way they are becoming reality. You've benefited from the support of family members and friends and professors, and quite frankly, you are here today because you persevered. And so, as we celebrate today, I want you to think about the fact that you are getting ready to go off to the next phase, and you will continue to do well. Other graduates here today are thinking about going to grad school. Some are thinking about going into jobs. Others are trying to figure out what they're going to do. You're going to be just fine. Let me ask those of you who are planning to teach to please stand. Where are the people who are going to be teachers? Please stand. Give our future teachers. And then those of you who are planning to be social workers, please stand for me. Where are my social workers? Give them a round of applause. Graduates, those of you who are with 4.0s, please stand. Let me see those. And do we have any veterans in the house? Any veterans here today? Please stand. Give the veterans. Very nice. Families, I want you to notice that, first of all, we say salute to all the veterans, and then I look to see how many faculty members, how many people with 4.0s. There were very, very few. You can always say there's no grade inflation at UMBC somehow. And now I'm delighted to introduce two people. The first will be the Honorable Thomas McMillan, who is a member of the Board of Regents, who will bring greetings on behalf of his colleagues on the board. And the second will be our Provost, Dr. Philip Rouse, Professor of Physics. Dr. Regent McMillan first, and then Dr. Rouse.
We have a mic that's not working here. Freeman, thank you very much. Distinguished guests, family, friends, and most of all, graduates, on behalf of the University System of Maryland and our Chancellor, I'm really pleased to be with you on this tremendous day. And to the members of the graduating class, I want to offer my congratulations on reaching this very important milestone in your life. And what you've accomplished has taken hard work, persistence, and dedication. And I know that your family and friends throughout this room also take a great deal of pride in your accomplishments. And no matter what direction your life takes, and no matter what challenges you face, I think you should feel confident that your education here has prepared you well. UMBC has also takes justifiable pride in serving as an integral part of the social, cultural, and intellectual life of the community with a deep and abiding commitment to service. So when you leave here and you enter your next phase of life, don't forget that spirit of commitment, that spirit of outreach, that spirit of service. That's such an important part of this institution. Once again, congratulations to you all. Before I leave, though, I want to hear a real loud applause for a great men's soccer team and chess team. All right. Go Retrievers. Thank you very much.
Just so you know, that wasn't planned. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Regent McMillan. On behalf of the scholarly community we call our UMBC, I extend my congratulations to all of our graduates. We had very high expectations when we welcomed you as a member of the UMBC community. Those expectations were based upon your promise as scholars. Today, we celebrate your fulfillment of that promise. You will today join the tradition of UMBC alumni who, through their life's work, continue to advance our understanding of our own humanity, our democracy, the natural world that surrounds us, and most importantly, make a difference in the lives of others. Your diploma represents not just your academic achievement, but the friendships you'd formed, the faculty who nurtured you, and the family and friends who supported you and helped you arrive here today. And so I will hope you will see your achievement as emerging from within the context of a community that knows you and cares about you. As I have done with each graduating class, I hope you will allow me to ask one final question. And that question is, what principles and values will guide you throughout your professional and personal lives? This is an intensely personal question, and the answer does not come easily or in a flash of a moment. In fact, it requires a lifetime to answer. But my greatest hope is that your experience as a member of our community will have provided you with the opportunity to reflect upon the many values that we share together. Values such as excellence, commitment, hard work, inclusiveness, and respect for the dignity of others. And perhaps the most important of these is integrity, which means putting your values into action. This is, of course, not easy, it's not simple, but in the words of the great Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it is done. At this point, I would like to recognize Mr. John Becker, Vice President of Operations for the UMBC Alumni Association Board. John? John is one of more than 60,000 UMBC alumni worldwide. He graduated from UMBC in 2001 with a bachelor's degree in Information Systems Management and is now Director of Business Development at SIGINT Technologies. Today, he will present each graduate with a memento on behalf of the UMBC Alumni Association. Please join me in thanking John for his support of UMBC. Thank you, John. And finally, I wish to share with you a wish. May you enjoy a life rich in the knowledge that each day your work and your relationships have truly made a difference. Congratulations.
Thank you, Philip. Students, you will be becoming alumni today, and we want you to remember that you always are part of UMBC. We want to help you at any point, and families work with us as time goes on, and we're looking forward to getting your first checks very soon. Keep that thought, all right? We have no shame, all right? Let me now share the stories of several of our graduates. Every one of you has a story, and stories inspire us. And so we've selected just a few of the graduates to let the audience and all of us think about what they have done since they've been here and what their plans are. The first of these graduates is receiving her bachelor's in Asian Studies, History, and English today. She is a humanities scholar and a member of the Honors College. She won a very competitive critical language scholarship through the U.S. Department of State to study in China. In addition to her studies and her campus involvement, she has worked as an intern at the U.S.-China Policy Foundation. She has applied for a Fulbright to teach English in Taiwan and will be continuing her work at the U.S.-China Policy Foundation. Molly Bradkey, kudos and please stand. Molly. It's very interesting. I almost want to say she must be back in China, but I'm not sure, but I don't see her there somewhere. All right. Our next graduate is receiving his bachelor's in computer science and mathematics. As one of 2 UMBC students chosen for the inaugural Code 2040 Fellowship, a very prestigious competition in California, he interned with a startup company in Silicon Valley where he interacted with technology giants in the world, attended workshops with Stanford faculty, and won their prestigious hackathon. He brought his experience with the hackathon back and co-organized our first hackathon at UMBC, creating a space for students to build mobile and web applications to improve our community. Beginning in January, he will begin his position as a software engineer with Jawbone, a consumer technology and wearable products company in San Francisco. This is the Jawbone upband that I'm wearing today. Good for your health, keep that thought. And he'll be moving to San Francisco, where he will also pursue an MBA. Perry Oguche, please stand. Perry. Our next graduate is receiving his bachelor's in mechanical engineering. He came to UMBC from Cairo, Egypt, and has been a star member of our swimming and diving team, winning multiple awards across a number of conferences. In 2012, he broke the Egyptian record in the 200-meter individual medley. He's also managing right now our swimming and diving team and as a swim instructor. He plans to represent Egypt in the next Olympics. Mohammed Hussein, please stand. Mohammed, we're very proud of you. Our next graduate is receiving her bachelor's in health administration and public policy today. As a first-generation college student, she transferred to UMBC from CCBC in 2011. Shortly after arriving here, she traveled to Switzerland through an international field research scholars program here to conduct a comparative study of the Affordable Care Act and Switzerland's health insurance policy. She has participated in several internships with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, with Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and with the Hopkins University's Chronic Disease Informatics program. She has accepted a research position at the Brookings Institution and will be pursuing a JD and an MPH, Master's in Public Health, from the University of Maryland Law and Medical Schools. Serena Coates, please stand. Kudos to you. Our next graduate receives her bachelor's in dance today. During her time at UMBC, she's had several opportunities to conduct in-depth research on African dance forms in the Caribbean. Her research influenced her senior dance project, which won the very prestigious American College Dance Festival highest honor, and she was selected to present it at the Kennedy Center. After graduation, she will be working as a professional choreographer and plans to travel to India and Trinidad to continue researching dance forms. Alexis Devance, kudos. Kudos. Our next graduate is receiving her bachelor's in sociology and psychology. As a freshman, she became involved in the Health Leads program through the Shriver Center and has quickly took on several other jobs here at the university, serving as health advocates for Baltimore residents in need. When that partnership ended, she was instrumental in creating a new group to continue the work, the Health Outreach Program in Baltimore. She also has served as a Sondheim intern and has been working in both entrepreneurship and social justice. She will be attending the University of Maryland School of Social Work. Catherine Evans, please stand. Catherine. Our next two graduates are receiving their bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and we chose to put them together because of their outstanding work with an organization that is designed to increase the number of children considering STEM careers from underserved populations. One of these, and the name of the organization is Let's Go Boys and Girls. One student coached a middle school robotics team, while another coached a middle school First Lego League team and co-founded the Retriever Robotics Club. After graduation, one will work at GE Lighting in Cleveland, Ohio with the very prestigious Edison Engineering Development Program. The other will be going to Bechtel National, the largest construction and civil engineering company in the country. And so, Catherine Hunt and Chris McSherry, please stand. We are so proud of both of you, Catherine and Chris. Our next graduate to the audience is in a major that you may not know. It's an interdisciplinary studies major where the student works with faculty to put together a program based on strengths and interests. And this program is in leadership development and social entrepreneurship. The student came to UMBC after being away from school for a decade, but quickly became involved in a number of activities. Through a class on creativity, innovation, and invention, he worked with fellow students to create a company called Banana Bones, a college campus navigation app. The app was so successful that they sold it to T-Core Networks, a company, made money, and donated some of that money to the university. First of all, give them a hand for donating the money to the university. And it's being used in the Alex Brown Center for Entrepreneurship. He is now developing an after-school mentoring program to teach leadership development to elementary school kids in Baltimore. He's married to our own Michelle Massey in our international education area. Joshua Massey, please stand. We're so proud of you. And thanks again for that check, Joshua. We appreciate it. And our final student is receiving her bachelor's in information systems, and it is an inspiring story. After coming to UMBC, she married her high school sweetheart and had 3 beautiful children. After her youngest child was born this semester, she spent her first night in the hospital working on a group project and studying for an exam. She returned to class after 5 days. In addition to raising a family, she has maintained a 3.8 GPA. She plans to work on freelance and open source web development projects. Elena Mason, we are inspired by you. Elena, please stand. This today is a very intimate setting, and we are delighted that we're here. But I do want to make one more comment that you'll appreciate. We will break ground on a new facility that will allow us to have all the family members you want to have. We'll start next fall. Give the Board of Regents a hand for giving us approval to start on that. I do want to do that. And our Board of Regents member, Regent McMillan, mentioned our soccer team. Let me simply say that of the 4 in the Final Four, we were given the highest academic achievement award for those 4, beating out UVA, who actually won the in academics, and our goalie had a 4.0 in economics, and our coach, Coach Pete Caringi, has just been named the National Coach of the Year. Please give him a hand. And now we are getting to the part that you're really interested in, and that's when the students get their degrees. And I appreciate the dignity with which you are comporting yourselves. Usually people say at this point, when your student comes across, you don't have to applaud. You have worked hard for your kids and your spouses, whoever it is, to get here. Feel free to let them know you love them. Give yourselves a hand for what you've done again. So as they come across the stage, feel free. Just remember, it is a dignified ceremony. We'll be fine, okay? Okay.
We will now move to the presentation of our degrees. Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees please rise? Dr. Rabowski.
Dr. Rouse.
Dr. Rabowski, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the UMBC faculty for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority of the state of Maryland, given to the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland and the Board of Regents, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the bachelor's degree which you have earned during the course of your studies at UMBC. In token whereof, you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Please be seated. Now will the candidates please proceed under the direction of the Students' Marshal, Dr. Marie Desjardins, and the commencement officials to the platform to receive their degrees. And please, will all of the graduates and their families and friends remain in the arena until the ceremony has concluded. Thank you.
Will the faculty in American Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Monica T. Kunanen. Will the faculty in Ancient Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Sierra K. Benson Brown, Denise B. Rivera, Max Romanoff, magna cum laude. Will the faculty in Asian Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates?
Christine Ah.
Molly J. Bratke, magna cum laude. Jessica Alice Fordyce. Will the faculty in Dance please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Yemi Awayera, Lillian S. Jones, magna cum laude. Moreniki Macaulay, Jessica J. Valenstein, cum laude. Will the faculty in Economics please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Jordan Randall Avery, Matthew Jacob Birmingham, summa cum laude. Richard Luke Campbell, Robert A. Carruthers, cum laude. Yoon Y. Cho, cum laude. Ji-Wan Choi, Jonathan Aaron Claggett, Dambrell Torina Clemens, Jonathan Andrew Cohn, Willie Joe Didi Dion, cum laude. John A. Ecker, Zachary R. Engelman, Michael Eziani, Joseph G. Gersh, magna cum laude. Douglas J. Hamilton, Matthew Hartgrove, magna cum laude. Corey Alexander Hyken, Ryan Jeremy Johns, Tabor M. Kabede,
Ryan Kosiba,
Jake K. Kuyate, Christopher Cody Lentz, Tiffany Loggins, Christian Lee McDonald, Michael J. Mahoney, Pragya Mala, summa cum laude. Aubrey J. Morin, Eric Diamond Munshenk, Daniel Pak, Shamik V. Patel, Brandy Renee Shaw,
Bizrat Warku Shirega,
Brady M. Smith, Enklun Sodanbayer, Aimanoshi D. Tokura, Nyoknyan Tai, Meng Wang, Jessica A. Weteraw, Wayne E. Wiggins, Juoming Ju, cum laude. Will the faculty in Emergency Health Services please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Walter Benson. Will the faculty in English please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Xavier T. Aromin, Taylor A. Britt, cum laude. Abayomi Oluwakemi Fadarin, Michael J. Fowler, Caitlin M. Hakinson, summa cum laude. Kristen Olivia Hodges, Lenita Carley, Jason S. Knowles, cum laude, Haley M. Knudsen, Jacob A. Latner, Thomas P. O'Brien, Disha G. Patel, Chanel D. Payne, Mia M. Roundtree, Jalen Maurice Sanders, Nicholas Michael Urick, Allison Wymore, Shannon Williams, cum laude.
I can read it. I can read it. Just give it to me. Give it to me. Will the faculty in Gender and Women's Studies please stand while we read the names of your graduates?
Aliza R. Roskas, magna cum laude, Nicole C. Savage, Juliet Teal Seymour. Will the faculty in Geography and Environmental Systems please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Saad H. Abadi, Crystal Noel Ankenbrand, Sean Elliott Brockington, Matthew Carlson, Brianna Diakopoulos, Lauren A. Dyes, Kelsey Beth Hinkey, Richard Mark Jenke, Chigozarim C. Ikena Ibe, Lauren Michelle Kelm, Jeannie Lai, Raynar Mantufel, Shane K. McFall, cum laude, David Saavedra, cum laude. Will the faculty in Health Administration and Policy please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Zina Alhija, magna cum laude, Atefa Ameri, Sobia S. Aslam, Emily Beckman, cum laude, Siham Bashir, Isha Bishwakarma, Jolicia Andrea Bracey, Brianna C. Brown, Jasmine C. Bastillo, Regine Charlot, Zara Chima, Prosper O. Chinekezi, Serena Elizabeth Coates, Upinder K. Dhaliwal, Geeta Govinda Ellison, Denise J. Iden, Seyazu Domarwa Jala, Umu Khadija Jallo, magna cum laude, William Jenkins, Renew A. John, Aja Nicole Jones, Maria Kamal, cum laude, Nashra Khan, summa cum laude, Amity Lynn Lakowitz, cum laude, Mabel Lee, Amy D. Malzuski, Adebola Ganiat Odunsi, Temilola Abisola Ogunai, Bidemi Y. Oladiran, Sadia Shah, Shelley Sharma, Callie Elizabeth Smallenbrook, magna cum laude, Lisel Justine Stadelli, Ethan G. Steininger, Fanta Tonkara. Will the faculty in History please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Nathan Bacchus, Connor William Hartline, Lior S. Kledgner, cum laude, Lynn Gloria Knazik, Logan Daniel Masters, cum laude, Megan V. Richards, Megan C. Todd, Michael John Trabert, Matthew Blake Wilson. Will the faculty in Media and Communication Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Margaret Imperial Barker, Brianna Marie Beach, cum laude, Eleanor F. Brower, Daniel P. Clemens, Gerald Collins, Brandon J. Ellis, Emma Hagan,
Shannon R. Harkey,
Bridget A. Lewis, Erica S. Lewis, Robert Patrick McCabe, Corey Mewborn, Ariel Noyes, Milton T. Ordakowski, Bria Ashley Smith, cum laude, Marissa Christina Vander Eyck, Laura Vasquez, Christopher Weiser, Dylan A. Woods. Will the faculty in Modern Languages, Linguistics, and Intercultural Communications please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Areli Aguilar, Monica G. Delgado, Raquel A. Ofori Pepra, Renan Pires. Will the faculty in Music please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Yokyong Deborah Kim, Jacob L. Perry, Jr., cum laude, Glenn Roscoe, Megan Kathleen Zontek, cum laude. Will the faculty in Philosophy please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Shaharyar Alam. Will the faculty in Political Science please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Hawaya Abbey, Karim Alalfeh, Lashley B. Austria, Laura A. Bonney, Elizabeth Galang Fernandez, cum laude, Gibran Muhammad Hussein, Miriam Ibrahim, Anusha Hashini Jayasingh, summa cum laude, James Taliaferro Kohler, Wang Si Lee, Rebecca L. Liberci, Alexis Gabriel Martinez, Rustam Makhmudov, cum laude, Monet G. Reed, Dornaz Mamarzia, cum laude,
Anahita Movahed Abtahi,
Edgar Lindiro Rusagara, Michael A. Shapiro, Madhvi Shukla. Will the faculty in Psychology please stand while I read the names of your graduates? David Matthew Abrahams, summa cum laude, Jessica Aguilar, Melissa V. Akalin, Amina Alam, Emily Alexander, Corey M. Allred, Robert E. Anstedt, Hope J. Arbisman, magna cum laude, Eileen Barden, cum laude, Roberta Jean Bell, Katie Buteau, cum laude, Jitan Anthony Caltabiano, Sung Hee Cha, Crystal Chang, Christina Choi, Elena Giselle Cisneros, Travis Coney Boss, Rachel S. Korduff, cum laude, Brendan E. Davis, cum laude, Taylor Michelle Dempsey, Dawn V. Doe, Sahar Aini, Hannah M. Engelke, Alexander Evans, Catherine Evans, Amanda C. Ezigbo, Molly P. Flanagan, Penelope Gorotiza, magna cum laude. Catrice D. Greer, Lucia R. Garino, magna cum laude. Daniel Halada, cum laude. Courtney M. Harper, Megan C. Harold, Tyra Hinton, Lauren Elizabeth Hubbard, Amy C. Jones, Sarah A. Juliana, Mamadou Kansé,
Judy Coe,
Larissa A. Kochnowitz, Victoria Lynn Julian, Brandon Lamy, Alice E. Lee, Hannah J. Lee, Jean Lee, Ashley R. Lemmy, Alan Lannis, Erica Lanos, Theo M. Ma, Nicole A. Megan, summa cum laude, Hope Michelle Manning, Malika Matthews, Emma Rose Main, Caitlin Rose McElhenney, Jamie Nicole Miller, Kiva S. Miller, Marissa A. Miller, Juliana Marie Murray,
Crystal M. Nichols,
Sanyu Unsubuga, Nameke Akobuike Onajeme, Sarah Lynn Orlick, Amy L. Owens, Sweta A. Patel, Laura Grace Pope, Heather Victoria Powell, cum laude, Megan E. Powers, cum laude, Corey Lynn K. Ross,
Radhika Sagar,
Lauren N. Smith, Teresa M. Smith, cum laude, Tara Shawn Lene Starks, Derek J. Steiner, Anna Suji Saw, Fahmida Sultana, Tim Chun Sweatman, Christopher J. Tabili, Gohar Toro Sayan, Irum H. Vahora, Tiffany Vidal, Nabiyu Mulugeta Woldeo Hannes, Aurora L. Williams, Kristen Wilson Butler, Alina L. Yang, Sergey Yoder, Will the faculty in sociology and anthropology please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Flora Asi Amayo, Brian Mariano Bird, Jayla C. Cobb, Nasha R. Conway, Makeda S. Kerbium, Melanie H. Dixon, Erica Ellis, Marquez Fernandez, cum laude, Molly Kate Fryert, Melanie W. Harbum, Caleb Xavier Jackson, Kevin M. Kennedy, Tim Mullaney, Christina Prince, cum laude, Sana Rafike, Robert James Reynolds, Jessica L. Roberts, Rebecca Stickles, cum laude, Karen E. Winchell. Will the faculty in theater please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Caroline M. Journey, magna cum laude. Will the faculty in visual arts please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Ronald Austin Blevins, Alex Alberto Ayala, Wilfred Brownell, Kristen Elizabeth Bryant, Hyasu Choi, Deonte Engram, Matthew J. Gardner, Laura Nicole Guzman Aguilar, Aaron Jamal Keys, Caroline King, Cara L. Martin, William Joseph Mitchell, Jaquetta A. Morrison, Leslie E. Napper, Kevin Macbeth Sample, magna cum laude, Chai Hee Shin, Kazim O. Sogbasan, Lisa Sum Font Facti, Matthew Barry Seibing, Amanda N. Taylor, Matthew Bahan Taylor, Gionathan Tekla, Gregorio Vasquez, Susie Yu, cum laude. Will the faculty in biochemistry and molecular biology please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Jail Dareen Charles,
Brian Dodson,
Obed E. Hernandez, David S. Crabb, Jatin Narang, summa cum laude, Caitlin R. Stalniker, cum laude. Will the faculty in biological sciences please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Adenike Temetayo Adenikinju, Aisatu Ba, Scarlett M. Burnaby, Shulamita Kwakyawa Boateng, Sarah S. Bokhari, cum laude, Dara L. Brown, Jessica Michelle Brown, cum laude, Giatu Bui, Megan Cerezo,
you're doing great.
Patrick Theodore Chase,
Yes, it did.
Janet Y. Chong, Michael Anthony D. Cesar, cum laude, Blanche Anua Jo Achari, George Eichelman, Arash D. Idizadeh, Edoka S. Emaiku, Shafak Fatima,
Brian Fetters,
Latif Fofana, Yunus Amadi Fokuo, Ahmad Hassan, Susanna Soledad Hoyos, Jonathan Klimakosa Javier, Mukta Joshi, Timothy V. Joseph, Yongjai Kim, cum laude, Sachi Koina, Arya Kulai, Alana Nicole Lescour, summa cum laude, Sean T. Lindman, magna cum laude, Bert W. Loliger, magna cum laude, Alicia Lynette Lyons, cum laude, Brett Alexander Danug Manusu, cum laude, Shannon Manlusu, Reginald M. Manuel, Elizabeth R. Marriott, Biniam Demaru Masresha, cum laude, Nana Ama A. Mensa, Sarah Mufti, Rachel M. Neff, cum laude, Travis Hoy Nguyen, Annette C. Oko, Oluwatumanin B. Oluwademi, Oluwatoyin O. Oloronsola, Joel E. Porter, Elizabeth Potoralski, Bisola Winnie Salisu, Sarah M. Soderstrom, Stephanie Diana Stuckey, magna cum laude, Tinsei Kabera Tamrat, Memema Tanvir, Sarah Tangerine Tarver, Krissa Lan Tran, Carson Truong, Krizia Ivana T. Udquim, magna cum laude, Duk Tri Van Vu, Bilha M. Wanjao, Spencer A. Williams. Will the faculty in mathematics and statistics please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Cooper H. McCrae, Lisa A. McPherson, Brea I. Parrish, Corina R. Ricker, magna cum laude, Morgan V. Schuyler, cum laude, Corrine L. Cyberlick. Will the faculty in physics please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Shauna E. Chisholm, Amy M. Gottlieb, magna cum laude, Christopher D. Martini, Ryan Christopher Morgan.
how are we doing?
Will the faculty
Andy, all
in
right?
chemical, biochemical, and environmental engineering please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Gary L. Uris, cum laude, Hamza N. Gouda, magna cum laude, Logan A. Hedspeth, Jessica Izumi, Sheriff Taiwo, Virgil Kettner, Osarumwense Ogbede, Latanya R. Simon, Will the faculty in Computer Science and Electrical Engineering please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Apinan Luis Arias, Maida Batul, Pakwese D. Bartels, Daniel J. Brandis, Mohammed J. Chaudhry, Jeffrey Klaus, Dustin T. Filippi, Adam N. Foster, Robert V. Ginsberg, Micah J. Hutchins, Sean Hutchinson, Sarah Khalif, Johan Kim, Brian Joshua Kimball, Nicholas R. Kostrykin, Philip R. Cronfley, Kelly M. Laflamme, Terry O. McMurray, Conrad Michalak, Vin T. Nguyen, Dui Lee Nguyen, magna cum laude, Sean K. O'Brien, Perry N. Oguchi, Thomas W. Pachura, Allison L. Fanenstein, Brendan C. Plant, David K. Robb, magna cum laude, Rashid A. Salau, Artem Shendrenko, cum laude, Alexander Spur, Brian L. Stetson, David H. Tideberg, magna cum laude, Marie E. Wagner, cum laude, Nicole L. Wewell, Ryan R. Winnook Fink, Alexander Wooten, Kevin Yu, Thomas Mark Zuby. Will the faculty in Mechanical Engineering please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Scordian Alaj, Khalid Lamafi, cum laude, Amin Ben Faida, Vadim Betsis, magna cum laude,
Kent B. Gambrill,
Hewett Heil, Patrick Albert Hooper, Catherine S. Hunt, summa cum laude, Mohammed Khaled Hussein, Russell B. James, G. H. Kim, Reginald W. McNeil, cum laude, Christopher L. McSherry, Lawrence Ray Mella, Aaron D. Mink, magna cum laude, David C. Morris, magna cum laude, Christopher Mark Mullen, Joseph Anthony Plattner, Theodore Rolls, Mason R. Shaw, cum laude, Neil W. Smith, magna cum laude, Patrick R. Soka, magna cum laude, Tuluwalase Tani Olu, Brandon R. Wagner, Jackie Yuen. Will the faculty in Information Systems please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Mohsen Abbasi, Percy A. Addo, Sanhutut Ong, Julian D. Bay, magna cum laude,
Brooke A. Biane,
Nathan Guy Augustus Bobo, Stephen D. Bryant, Adriel P. Cabello, Robert L. Cameron, Daniel Alsanad Kattendig, Emily Rachel Chiavolino, cum laude, Sarah Cook, Brett M. Coker, Trey Kennedy Cover, Justin M. Chrysler, Eric T. Davis, Scarlett Cerise Eakins, cum laude, Robert R. Ford, Sean P. Frady, cum laude, Benjamin Herwig, Stephen Gerard Ho, Yat Ning Hung, Khalid S. Hussein, Testea M. Ibrahim, Frederick Aij, Mohammed Shariful Islam Razon, Humza Arshed Javed, Angad Kakar, Adebola Tajuddin Jagun, Quentin Funzel Jones, Sean W. Jorgensen, Charles Paul Juzelenos, Justin Kapoor, Cody F. Kenlack, Faith H. Kiesling, Henry C. Leung, Michael Patrick Main, Raymond E. Major, Jr., cum laude, Elena Catherine Mason, magna cum laude, Melody M. McCorkle, Lance J. Middlecamp, London Kamora Monroe, Joseph Malad Neary, Tu Min Nguyen, Olugbenga Oduola Ogundimu, Anthony Chukwanonso Awele, Eleanor R. Oziel, Dimitrios M. Papageorgiou, Chirag Patel, Devin A. Price, magna cum laude, Ashley Reed, Oscar P. Reynolds, Jonathan Allen Savage, magna cum laude, Christopher Michael Schneider, Aliu B. Shaw, Angela R. Shen, Owen R. Smith, Ashil A. Soni, Jacob William Spangenthal, Megan Elizabeth Straub, cum laude, Sierra C. Thomas, Pat Lee Tolliver, Benjamin Townsend, Taylor Vallandingham, Amanda Verb, Neil Andrew Watson, Joseph Wong. Will the faculty in Management of Aging Services please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Jia Huan D. Duong, Michael Robert Kantz,
Grace A. Amu,
Mary Frances Nyo, magna cum laude, Janet B. Padua, Chloe E. Poffenberger, cum laude, Caitlin Michelle Scheidegger, Carlene Beverly Ann Sobroto, Dakota Young. Will the faculty in Interdisciplinary Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Melanie V. Keys, cum laude, Josh R. Massey, cum laude, Shannon Mulcahy, cum laude. Will the faculty in Social Work please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Michael Aarons Alksnes, summa cum laude, Novina Plamanova Asanova, magna cum laude, Carla M. Barahona, Rachel M. Bender, Jamie Lynn Burnett, Mallory N. Gibson, cum laude, Kathleen Elizabeth Hall, Melissa Lynn Hinkle, Francine Hyman, John D. Keister, cum laude, Michelle Denise Martin Jones, Chimama Ihuoma Obior, Maria V. Poulakis, Priscilla Wiafi.
Would everyone remain in your seats for 5 minutes, and then you can go and enjoy family. Before I ask you to turn your tassels, it has been my tradition to quote the words of UMBC's first president, the late Alvin Kuhn, to the first graduating class in 1970. He said these words: "If you bring to the future the same personal qualities and personal commitment that you have brought to this campus as students, good and important things will happen to each of you and to those around you, and the university will be proud to have played a part in your lives. And we know you will do just that. And then my own words to you: be confident, knowing that your UMBC education has given you a solid foundation for the rest of your lives. Know that if you persevere, and we know you will reach your goals, though you will be challenged and tested along the way. Remember that your dreams, and most important, your character, will determine who you will become. Your character will be reflected most clearly in the courage you possess and in the compassion you show for others. Be true to yourselves, true in your relationships, always reaching out to inspire and to elevate. Undergraduates, it is my distinct honor to tell you that you may now turn your tassels. Let's give them one more standing ovation, folks. Give them one more standing ovation. Please remain standing and remain where you are, please, just for one moment. Graduates, you are now alumni of UMBC, and you will always be connected to us, and we will be connected to you. Remember, this is your home, and I had a thought as I looked into your faces that you are among the most privileged people in the world. That only about 30% of Americans, the most privileged, even if you don't have a job yet, it's okay. You are among the most privileged people in the world, and of those to whom much is given, much is expected. We have no doubt you will do so much. And so now I want the graduates to stand. I want everybody to stand and stay at your seats. And as we sing the alma mater, it is very important that no one moves out of respect for the university and for ourselves. We always stand in our places. No one leaves as we sing our alma mater. You will find the words on the back of the program. Graduates, give your families a hand for being such a classy audience, please. At this time, once the alma mater is completed, our Grand Marshal will finish with the final remarks and lead us in the recessional, and then you will have the opportunity to greet your loved ones. On the back of the cover of the program, you will find the words to the alma mater.
Will everyone kindly remain standing until the platform party, faculty and staff, and graduates have recessed. Families and friends are asked to meet the graduates outside of the arena. Congratulations, graduates, and enjoy the day.
Applause.